01. What is the output? Anyone can let me know. What is output? If we do the append E101, what is the output? Yes. Huh? No, that is not the output. Please be careful the sequence. Yes, and let me show 2468 13579. And if I do the append like this, 01 before the E1, the output will be the 135792468. So that is how to append the function work. So you need to understand how it works. So this is some of the practice, and then you will get the result. So I can show you some of the example now because you can do it by yourself. That is not difficult. So you can find that this is what I'm doing. So for example, for the question 2, you can define something. If I do something like this, you see the CDR, the 01, I get the result. It is 79. So why it is the 79? So we need to refer to the documentation. You see the CDR. Let me see. What's the CDR used for? Return the second element of the pair P. So let's look here. Return the second element of the pair P. So we return the 2, is it? So this is the CDR, the used for. Let me here. You see here. So return the second element of the pair P. So if we do the CDR, the 01, that means we go to the 79. So we can try. If we are not clear, we just try CDR 01 to see what will happen. That means the 379. Am I right? What is you see, we got this one already. And then we try the CDR 01. The CDR the 01 to see. Bracket and then bracket. Yeah, the answer. Okay, I got the you see, we take the 3 again, so the 579. And then the answer here, why it is the 79, you can find here, is it? I only got the 01, it is the 3579. So that is the issue, you see? It's the 3579, and we're missing the 1. So that's the reason we can try, if the 01, it is the 1359. So each time we take the first element. So that means we take the second, the pair. So we take the 3579. It is the first time, you see here, is it? And then we CDR the 3579, and then we take the pair, the 579, you see, it is here. So why I present here? The question is, the reason is here because if I ask you guys, for example, the question, if I ask you guys the question, for example, if I define, if in the question, if I define the 01, it is 13579, I will ask you the CDR, the 01, what is the answer? I give the answer A, 579. The answer B, 79. The answer C, 135. The answer D, 13. So you need to understand the answer, it is the Answer A. You know what I mean? So this is we call the multiple choice, the question, how it related to our practical. And that is not difficult. That is not difficult, but that leads us to practice. So I'll give you guys the 2 minutes to practice the length. You see the length E1 and O1 and what you will find. So please do it now. Go to the try in front of your computer to see what will be the length to the E1 and the O1, something like that. Please try it now. So what will be the output? The length E1 or the O1 or something like that. Please do it now. Is it right or not? Anyone can let me know. If I press the enter, what will happen? I'll copy this one to make it clear and to run. No, don't save. Okay. What will happen if I press the enter? You see, they will say, okay, there is some error. So what I'm going to do, I'll copy this one. I'll go to the documentation to see what's wrong with the you see, okay, they said no matching the font. So maybe I do something wrong. Let me see here. Oh, I missed the G. Is it? Am I right? So should be the G. Yeah. You see here. And then this is the definition. They said, okay, the length, the after that could be the one the least. One the least, you see? So this could be I think there's something wrong because I didn't define the G, so that is the reason. You see, E1 didn't define. I needed to define the E1. So let me go to here. We define. Yeah, we needed to define the E1. You see here, there's something wrong. We need to define the E1, you see, and then we can apply the length. The E1, you see, is the 4, is it? So this is the example for the question we look at here. For the question, the question 4, and that is not difficult. So you guys need to practice. So do you have any questions for the question 1, 2, 3, 4? Please let me know. Okay, thank you. You guys I found someone has found the error already. It's LAENGTH. Yes. And this is for the question 1, 2, 4. You see, this is some of the example I run before. So you see here, you see, if we have the append, we can do the append E1 and O1. Let me try this one. I needed to define the E1. O1. I just do this one, and then we can do the append. So we needed to append E1 and the O1. So you see? So this is the example what I'm doing. So for example, if you want to get some of the results like 797968, you can do something, for example, just like the CDR. So this is look like this, it is 1, the least. this is another list. Am I right? So the CDR01, after we finish this part, we do the CDR again of the result. Same as this one. After we do the CDR, the E1, we do the CDR of this result again. And then we append those of them, the two lists. And then we get a 7968. So I give you guys some of the tips to how to work on the question and the 1 to 4. I don't think so you guys has any problem or any issues about that. And because this is some issues, what you guys need to do, you need to practice. So I will not do that in today because I do believe you guys should be fine with that. Do you guys have any questions about the question from the 1 to 4? If not, I am going to do the next question. So question 1 to 4, do you guys have any problem or you want to any questions you want to ask me? Please let me know. If you didn't say anything, I assume the 1 to 4 should be fine with us. So most of the important things for us, what we are talking about in our practical, for example, the function, the length, the function append, the function CAR, CADR, CADDR, or the CDDR, and the reverse, you need to understand that. You need to try that. You need to remember that in your mind. Because if it is a multiple choice, the question, it is the time limited. So you need to give us the answer as quick as possible. Okay, that is 1 to 4. So let's we look at the question 5. And how output is 0? Sorry, I don't know what you mean. Can you write clear? What's the output in question 3? Oh, the 0 because you see here, and 0 to 4. Part H, okay. 02468. Yeah, you asked me the good question. The CADR and the CDR reverse with 1359. This is the 13579. It is the O1. The E1 is 2468. Okay. Why it is a 0? Yes. And I assume the 0 it is because something, the type error or something. Yes, because the 0 it is not available to any set, to any the element of the O1 and the E1. So I think maybe it is some the type error. So we skip this one because if we didn't have the 0 inside any of our the list, it is impossible we have the 0. What do you mean 11? We don't. No, I think that is not 11. That is 11. That is not 11. That is 11. So our student had faced this problem before. It is 11. It is not 11. Okay. Yeah, that is the 11. The 1 and the 1 has the space. It is not 11. Yes, I told you. And the reason I told you before, and sometimes when the people convert the Word version into the PDF, you see that is a PDF, that has some problem. Or maybe it is a type error. maybe that is not H, it is H, I, it is I, it is the J, so some issues. Okay, and I think for the first part, for the question 1 to 4, and you guys, the important thing is that you guys need to understand the different function, the CAR, CADR, CADDR, and how this function work when we talk about in the questions in the practical 4. And then if we ask you a question like this, for example, and what is the output for the append, the CDR, something like this, you know what I mean? What is the output like this? If I give you the answer A, 3, 5, the answer B, 6, 8, and you know the answer is B. It is related to the practical, you see, the week 4, the practical, the multiple choice, the choice on the functional paradigms. So this is the something why we need to think about that if we want to prepare for our assessment. Okay, so you need to practice. Let's we look at the question 5. So look up the function condition and give an example to use it. And I would like to give you guys the code in the chat box. And please run this one in your computer. And this practical for estimate is non-correct. Yes, you are right. I answer this one because the set is very clear. This is a practical quiz which focuses on the functional paradigms. There are low marks associated with the quiz. You see, this is just like the practice. So because maybe you can assume this is just like the mock examination or something like that. So to help us to understand and the functional paradigms, but it is not that is not the assessment. So and I give you guys the code. I would like you guys to run that in your computer. So and then I will explain the code to you guys. So this is that is not clear. I will show you because I cannot. Okay, I will do it. You see, this is like the Python. So if you have learned the Python before, maybe you will understand what is the use. Okay, so the code looks like this. I would like someone to help me because we have the bug, we have the error. So what is wrong with this one? They said unbound identifier in equal. That means EQL. That has a problem. So because I think, don't save. You see here, unbound identifier the equal. So I think if we go to our documentation, you will find that we don't have such an operator. So how could I do? I needed to think about, is there any problem? EQL, the question mark. And if I run this one, they still say the T unbound identifier. So far, we need to try the true, you see. Why they always ask me? Okay, the answer, it is nothing special about this number. So why the answer is here, nothing special about this number? I think if we look at the code here, you see, the A is equal to the 32, is it? The 32 didn't equal to the 13, didn't equal to the 99. And the true, that means if we didn't equal to here, it is just like if and else, just like our Java. So we come to here, the output will be the nothing special about this number. I don't think so that is a difficulty, but you guys, at least, what you need to do, you need to understand, for example, if we have the code like this, and you need to understand the output we call A, an unlucky, B, a lucky, C, nothing special about this sum. So we need to understand if A equal to the 32, we will go to this statement. Yes, you are right. So that will help us to understand the functional paradigms, the functional programming. And we will do the similar things. For example, in the practical 5, it is we call the Haskell. In the functional programming, if we write the if-else, we write the if-else like this way. And the let here is just like the basic programming language. So the basic programming language is known just like JavaScript or something like that. So let the A equal to the 32. So far, this is what we need to understand for the question 5. I don't think so that is difficult, but we need to understand what is the meaning. So this is for the code, for the condition. So maybe you can try the other issues. For example, you can get it 3 or something like that. If I run this one and ask, don't save. You see, an unlucky number, is it? If I put the 3 here. So this is the issue. So we need to be very careful. So this is for our question. This is for the question 5. And for the question 6, that is very tricky. It is a tricky question. So if I ask you in the examination, I ask you, could you please define a function that extracts the third element from the list? If anyone can give me the answer, I'll give you guys the 2 minutes for the question 6. The question 6. Could you please type your answer in the chat box? Define a function that extracts the third elements from a list. Anyone can let me know your answer. Define a function that extracts the third element from a list. Yeah, you can do it now. I'll give you guys the 2 minutes. Or you can try get the answer from the record, the documentation. Or you can use the Google to search it. Let E1, and I would like you give me the exactly the answer so I can run. Yeah, okay. I can run in my the record the compiler. So okay, it's never mind. That is the trick question, so don't worry. I straight away to give you guys the answer. That is a little bit tricky. So the answer, it is very simple. You can find a lot of answer, but I just provide a very simple one because this one, it is very simple. And we are very lucky. We have the third function. You see the third. So let me try. So what is the third function used for? So the third, you see, sorry, it's just to give you the third element from the list. You see, we have the fourth, we have the fifth, and we have the second, and we have the rest. So this is the very tricky one. So our answer for this one is from here. Third, so it's straight away to give us the answer, is it? So that one, it is much the tricky one. So we use the third. So we know that. So because why we need this one is just in case, for example, if in the multiple choice, we give you a sentence like this. I give you the answer A, 1, B, 2, C, 3, and D, 4. So you know the answer, it is C, is it? Am I right? So this is the something you need to understand. So that is not difficult, but you need to practice by your own. Because if you always listen to me, maybe you cannot get the answer in the time-limited online multiple question. Because the multiple question, it is the time-limited. You need to give the answer very quick. So that is a question 7. That's question 6. The question 7 is define a function to create a palindrome from a given list. And that is not difficult because we just use the reverse, you know what I mean? We use the function to reverse our the list or reverse our string. So you see here, that is not difficult. We use the reverse. The question 8, so sorry, maybe some guy didn't understand what's the meaning, the palindrome. This is just like, for example, if you have the 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 3, 2, 1, and we call this is the palindrome, the list. If we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5, 6, that is not, because if we repeat from here, you see, like this way, from the start to the last one, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But if we read it from the back to the forward, we have the 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is not equal, is it? But this one is different, is it? If we like this way, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, is it? If we from the back, it is still the 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 9, 3, 2, 1. That is we call the palindrome. So this is what we say we use the reverse, and then we use the append. So you can try it in your computer. And for another function, we want to define a function where we test whether or not at least it is the palindrome. And I can give you guys some of the tips. I would like not to give you guys the answer because you can try it by yourselves. So this is the way I present the example. It is much more complicated than the question. I provide the function to you. If you input the string, I will put your string, convert the string into the list. And after that, I will remove all the space. But for our list, we can equal the space. And then I will use the equal. To equal, your reverse one is equal to the original one. So that is the logic. So for you guys, you go back home and after today's the lab and try to practice. Can you find such function work or not? And you can find a lot of solution, and but the logic are the same. The logic that means if we reverse your list and compare the list with the original one, it is true or it is false. So that is question 8. So you guys, what you need to do, you need to understand the logic. And that is our question from the 1 to the 8. Do you guys have any questions? Okay, if not, I will talk about a very what is S in the question 7. The S, it is the input, it is the parameters, it is the list. So this you see here, is it? You input the list. The S is just the variable's name. You can change the S to any, you can change the S to the A or to the B. That is a variable's name. Okay. Okay. And that is the question 1 to question. This is the first part, the simple list. So you guys, the most important things I talk about again, how this function work. You need to understand that. If I give you a function, you need to know the result. And that is not difficult, but you need to practice. And then for the recursion, that is very important. For the recursion, firstly, for our example, as I talk about a lot, you need to understand, for example, the factorial and the Fibonacci, we call the Fib, and the fact. So we need to understand, let me use this one to show you guys. The two function, you need to understand, this is our question, recursion, is it? You need to understand the factorial and the Fibonacci, we call the Fib, the fact and the Fib. What is the meaning of these two? That is very important. Because if you don't understand it very clearly, later, if we ask you some question, you need to spend some time to get the answer. That is not what we want. We want you straight away to know what is the fact, what is the Fib. So what is the fact? We know that when the n equal to the 0, the fact equal to the 1. The 1 will be equal to the 1 times 1, is it? Equal to the 1, is it? The 2 will be equal to the 2 times 2 minus 1. And 2 minus 2. 2 minus 2 is 1. 2 minus 1 is 1, is 2. Will be the 2, am I right? And the 3, we straight away equals to the 3 times 2. It will be the 6. If anyone has any question about that, about the question 3, the factorial? Any questions? No? Okay, that's great. So based on this question, we would like to create our the function, define a function. Am I right? So for you guys, I would like to straight away, oh, this is the changed already. So that is not good. How can I open this one? Oh yeah, that's changed already. Okay, I made some mistake. I changed my source code. I see this one. Okay, sorry. Okay, don't worry. The very, very good things. I have the picture. So you guys, your first job for very important for today. Please screenshot the code, and then type the code into your record. Please do it. And after 3 minutes, and I will explain the code. And maybe some of you, your typing is not faster as your friends. And don't worry, after I explain the code, and you can run it later. So please screenshot the code now, and I will explain the code after 2 minutes. So quarter to 12, the 2 minutes later, and I will explain the code. So let's look at the first one. So please type that one into your Racket compiler. Maybe I can do the same things as you guys. You see, define. See. Okay, guys. I think that should be much better than me when you type in the. You see the 3. You see the answer. It is 6. So I would like to explain the code here. So you guys, for example, I can tell you, maybe if in the examination, so for example, I delete these lines of code. I delete these lines of code. So I will ask you the answer A, it is the 0 is 1. The answer B will be equal n to the 1 equal to the 2. The B will be equal to the n. The 0 will be equal to, sorry, the C. That is C, and D is some blah blah. So you need to understand the answer, it is A. So that is the reason you need to understand what is the code used for. So the logic of the code, and what is the how the syntax of the each code. So far, as we know, what's the meaning of these lines of code? Anyone can let me know. That is very important. What's the meaning of these lines of code? Anyone can let me know. Yeah, you can use your microphone. What's the meaning of these lines of code? Yes? Yes, anyone can let me know what's the meaning of these lines of code? Okay, I would like randomly to pick someone. Yeah, anyone? Okay, so if n equal to the 0, then the return 1. Yes, that's great. That's great. Yes. So these lines of code, that means if n equal to the 0, the answer will be the 1. So that means this one is referred to what? FACTOR, the 0 equal to the 1. This one referred to here. And then these lines of the code, it is the recursion. It is the recursion. So for example, for the each time, for example, if n equal to the 4, you see, n equal to the 4, we check the condition. N equal to the 4 is not equal to the 0, you see? We come to this line. And then, yes, you are right. Where with the times, you see, n it is 4, and 4 times what? 4 times factory, 4 times factory is 3, you see? Because here it is n minus 1, am I right? 4 times factory 3, am I right? And what is factory 3 equal to? Because we refer to here, you see? The 3 go to this condition is not equal to the 0, you see? And then we come to here. And then it is the what we call, go to our definition, what is a factory looks like. Am I right? So this is where be the factory 3 will be replaced by the 3 times factory 2. Am I right? If we come to here, it's 4, and the factory 2 will be the 2 times factory 1. Am I right? So this is the 4 times 3 times 2, and the factory 1, it is what? It is 1 times factory 0. Am I right? Factory 0. And the factory 0, and below the answer, you see? The 0, it is what? It's here, you see? If n equal to the 0, the answer it is 1. So here it is 1. So the final answer will be the 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. That is the definition we call the recursion to define the factory. You see here. So this is the same as the fib. In the fib, we also do the same things. First thing, we do the condition. If n equal to the 0, the fib, the 0 equal to the 1. If n equal to the 1, the fib, the 1 equal to the 1. And then we try if the fib, if the n equal to the 3 or n equal to the 4, what is the fib will be looks like. So we do the recursion. That is the definition for the fib, the number. So there are some of the things the student mentioned to me. So because if in the mathematics, for the fib, we call the fib 0 equal to the 0. But don't worry, because the answer I provided to you is from the module leader. So that means, this is the answer provided to me. That means we use the fib, the 0 equal to the 1. So that is only one issue is concerned by some student. But we follow the instruction from the module leader. And I think the most important thing is here. The most important thing is here, and we know how could we write the recursion in our functional programming. So always we give the condition. The 0 or the 1, what is the result? And then we do the condition. So for us, you need to remember the code for the factory and for the fib. It's okay? That is very important. And I think I covered the very important session, the information for our practical. The recursion, I provide the code already. And later, I think you also can find the code from the canvas, I think the next week. And then the importance for the different functions, you need to practice by yourselves. And 12 o'clock, I have another tutorial. Sorry, I have another practical. It is repeated practical. It is the same. So if you have any questions, and could you please ask me in the 12 o'clock, the one. So 6 minutes later, and I will be there. So now I would like to have a short break and have a drink. I will be back 6 minutes